Welcome to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. This is not your typical financial radio show. As a licensed CPA, insurance agent, and investment advisory representative, Chris coaches his clients on a holistic view of financial well-being with an objective of providing a complete financial strategy to fund life's goals. Chris is here to guide you down the path to the financial serenity you deserve. Now, here's Chris Cooper.
All right, good morning, folks. It is October. Pretty exciting. This is actually my favorite time of the month. Busy month in the Cooper households. We have so many birthdays in October. Always busy, always doing things. It's just always a crazy time. But it's nice. It's cooler. You got some football on. You get to enjoy some time. And we're going to talk a little bit about banking today. So in studio with me, we've got Max and Nick, my good friends at Royal Banks of Missouri. How we doing, guys?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Glad to be here.
Spectacular.
Oh, there you go. Nice. All right. He's been saving that one, guys. Watch out. Nick's, all right. Always up to something. So there's a lot going on in the banking world today, right? We've got, for finally, it seems like interest rates, which have been crazy for really a long time, seem like we're going to start to see some declines in rates, which is always kind of nice to see.
Absolutely. We haven't seen rates go down in how many years now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been, what, a couple of years?
At least.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. 3 or 4. That's crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy.
it's good to see them coming down.
Yeah, it really is. And maybe stabilizing would be nice as well.
Yep.
You know, the economy kind of likes stable.
Yep.
You know, I always say, you know, people get excited when the markets go up and down crazy. People start making phone calls or, wanting to make moves. I'm like, the best time to really make moves, I'm happiest with little changes.
Well, the bank likes stable too,
Right.
Chris. I mean, it's, we make money too. We're not a not-for-profit business.
Yeah.
So we like to see rates stay low. It helps us get more money out the door because
Right.
people want to borrow. But also, for the bank to be healthy, we like to see rates be in a stable place.
Well, and it's easier to make decisions because you can focus long term because things are more predictable.
Absolutely.
Right? Predictability is good for the economy, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's what the president has been trying to do with what he's been, putting into office, all of the policies, long term in nature, for sure. He's been causing some pissing matches with the chairman of the
For sure.
Federal Reserve, right, wrong, or indifferent. He does not control rates, does he?
No, he does not.
He wants to.
Yeah.
But, I would like to control everything too.
Sure.
But it is what it
Yeah.
is. We can't always do that, right?
No.
So, all right. So Royal Banks. So I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about Royal Banks. So I was a customer with Serenity Wealth. We all, any small business needs banking relationships. It's part of what we do, right? And so I obviously have a banking relationship for my personal and my business. It was a large, I'm going to call it a big box organization. I won't have to say who it is, but we'll say it's We Banks instead of some other place. So anywho, and it was really a hard relationship.
You were a number.
I was calling a number. I was calling a 1-800 number to get things done.
Not a cell phone.
Yeah. And it was really hard to know what should I be doing? What could I be doing differently? And so I reached out to my buddy Nick here, who I've known for years. Our kiddos played soccer together, and he's in the banking world. And I said, hey, I need to think about what I'm doing here. And you never know when you're in a business world, like what size should you be before you figure out what your banking relationship should look like,
Yep.
And I'm like, Nick, do you really want to talk to me? And he's like, well, yeah, we probably need to talk because we need to make sure you're taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing led to another. And of course, my wife doesn't want me to change anything because, that's
Extra
her
work.
ATM. You've got enough going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I got to tell you, Royal Banks made it so easy for me. I think I was a customer in like 3 days. I had accounts set up. I moved funds over. And it got to the point where it was more of a hassle for me to keep banking the way I was than it was just to move my whole entire account over. And man, am I glad I did, because in the process, I actually sold my house And great estate legacy planning advice. I give this to all my clients. You should have a trust. And when you have a trust, your house usually goes into that trust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what happens when you sell a house? They sell you, the bank cuts you a check. And who do they make the check out to? The trust.
The trust.
Guess who didn't have a trust bank account? Because I never needed a trust bank account.
Mm-hmm.
In less than 24 hours, your team turned around a bank account for my trust so that I could cash my check for my proceeds from the sale of my home. So that is incredible, just very impressive. And I couldn't have done it without being able to call people's cell phone.
Well, and we appreciate it, Chris, putting your trust in the bank, myself, and
Pun intended with the trust, right?
exactly, exactly. And going back a little bit, nobody really likes change.
Yeah.
Especially moving their bank accounts. So that's normal. And I find that a lot of folks start out with a bank account that maybe they had since they were a kid.
Yeah.
In that same bank. But, sometimes that's not the right fit for the individual or the business.
Right.
And I think when you and I sat and chatted a little bit, you were looking for a personalized approach.
Yeah.
I think one thing that Royal Bank offers is obviously we're very active in the community, but at the same time, we're building it around. It's customized around you and your business relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a cookie cutter type of thing. So,
Right.
no, I think that, we've got a lot of resources available, just like a large bank would, but it's still got that personal feel. We're right here, in your backyard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I just to go off of that, where we are in Beale Street, streets of St. Charles, we have our treasury management team right next to us.
Yep.
They sit
Yeah.
right next to us, and the staff, Kirsten, Sarah, Nicole, they all do a great job to help customers like you move over and feel confident that what we're doing is what you need,
Yeah.
not pushing something on you. That
Well,
you don't
yeah,
need.
I never got put on hold to transfer from one department to another. Nick walked down the hall
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, is this, can you get this? Do you know where this is?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." to me."
Yeah. No,
It's
very
funny
different.
that you say that because I just did that the other day with a customer. And I love the fact that the treasury management team is right there
Yeah.
with us. And rather than me emailing or putting them on a conference call, putting you on hold and talking to them, a lot of times I'll take my cell phone down there and I'll put it on speaker and say, hey, he's got this issue and how do we do that on our side?
Yeah.
And it gets fixed a lot faster that way.
Well, it really does.
And that's what I like about community banking
Yeah.
is the solutions come a lot faster.
Makes sense. And solutions make your clients happier too.
That's right.
And
Make it easy.
ultimately, that's what we're all about.
Well, at the end of the day, we want you
Yeah.
to focus on your business operations.
That's
You shouldn't
right.
have to be worried about banking.
That's
you
right.
call me and I'll take care of finding
Yeah.
the right person in the
It
bank.
makes sense. It's
Yeah.
And Nick doesn't even have a 1-800 number, I don't think.
I think you can get one if you want one.
I'm trying to get one for out in the
You're a
country.
636 though, aren't you? Are you a 314
No,
guy?
I'm a 314
You're a
guy.
314 guy.
Yeah,
See, that's
yeah.
how long he's been in the St. Louis area, folks.
Yeah.
Before the 636 days. Oh,
Have to get you a new number.
yeah.
We're in St. Charles County.
I'm not
Represent
giving
the
up
St.
my
Charles
314.
County,
I get all those old solicitors. I get all kinds of calls still having that same number for 20-something years.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? So you mentioned a few different things. Nick had mentioned the cookie cutter thing, and that to me, that's something I tell people all the time. You do not want cookie cutter financial advice. And so, in fact, I think that's a quote that's on my website somewhere. I'm sure it is. And if it's not, I'm going to put it on there because I'm the same way. I do not like cookie cutter plans. Everyone is a unique, different situation. You got to focus on goals. You got to focus on needs. You got to focus on what people are looking to achieve with their business.
Mm-hmm.
And customize that solution to meet their needs, right? That's what it's all about.
I think Royal Banks is differentiating themselves that way. It doesn't matter what our 1, 2, or 3 bundle says. Bill or Nicole will look at your account, try to figure out how do we need
sense.
what makes the most sense, and then tweak it.
Yeah.
You can't do that at a big box,
No, you can't.
and we've both been there. So
Yeah, no, I have some pretty cool features that I like, some kind of a sweep function that she gets excited about right now.
Automatic.
She's going to listen to this. She's like, "Oh my God, he talked about my sweep feature."
You want to hear a funny story? Max and I have known each other for a very long time,
Yeah.
but Max didn't know it. When I interviewed with Max, obviously we had worked together at a large bank many years ago. And Max was like, yeah, we were kind of reminiscing about those days. I said, but Max, we've known each other since we were kids. He goes, what do you mean? I said, we played on the same baseball team together.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, we did? I said, look, I wasn't that good. You were good. So you don't remember me, but I remember you.
I was that cocky, you know,
Yeah.
I'm going to be the professional baseball player, and St. Jude was the team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
it really made my brain go back in the archive
Nice.
to
So we've
find.
known each other for many years.
Yes, and we're talking about 11, 12 years old,
Nice. Now, how long did the baseball career last?
all the way through college.
Yeah.
You know, I played through college.
Very cool.
Went to Southeast Missouri State.
Yeah.
Pitched and
Yeah.
had a
Okay.
really nice career there.
Yeah.
So
And now he's got a daughter that's a pitcher.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
So pitching now, was this was in the day when pitching was also hitting, or
No, they
No?
actually at CBC High School, they said you're getting DH'd for.
okay.
They took the bat out of my hands right
So
away.
it starts that early.
It starts that early.
Man, see, as a St. Louis guy, I'm a National League guy. You know, I just I want hitting.
They don't want these pitchers, you know.
I get
Put
it.
blinders on you at
It's-
an early age.
I think it's got something to do with injuries or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Big money.
Yeah.
It's always about money at some
That's
point,
right.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So we always form relationships in sports and things like that throughout our life. Nick and I met through our kiddos playing soccer together,
Mhm.
right? So it's just kind of funny. That's how things work. We think about that competitive nature of sports and the enjoyment factor, but a lot of relationships and connections get built that way too.
Well, it's how you transition, you know, from being an athlete at a younger age to being a competitor in your career.
Sure.
You know, you use those athletic abilities or accomplishments, and you bring those over, and you make yourself, you position yourself to be proud that way,
Yeah.
and to win. And
Yeah.
by winning, that means you win and the bank wins.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how that sports kind of
It makes
transitions.
sense.
Good
Yeah.
analogy.
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. And a lot of the times when I talk to people that have that sports background in some form or fashion, that
Mhm.
competitive drive, successful entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
Yeah.
successful business professionals,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because you translate some of that in inherently. It's just part of that drive.
Absolutely.
sure.
So it makes
sure.
sense. It makes sense. So what made you transition into the banking world?
Oh boy. See, I got a degree in accounting from
Uh-huh.
Southeast, and I did not want to be an accountant. So you're
Yeah.
a CPA, I guess.
I am
All right.
recovering.
Well, you know, my studying for the CPA exam was going to the boat the night before with my buddy.
Yeah.
And we did really well at the craps table, but I did not do well on the CPA exam the next day. So
Well, the perfect score on that is like, a 70.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Like,
I
if
think
you
my
wanna-
highest score was a 50.
No,
on
that's
any
not
of-
going to work. That's not going to work.
So I learned right away that accounting was not going to be my gig.
Yeah.
And went into a financial career at first in credit. And after 10 years of doing credit behind the desk, I wanted to get out
Yeah.
and actually meet people and build those
Uh-huh.
relationships. And so that's 2005,
Mhm.
October 31st of 2005.
There we go.
When I entered the banking world.
All right.
And that was National City Bank at the time.
Okay.
And since then, God has blessed me to have great teams, meet great people along the way, and have friends for a lifetime. So banking has treated me very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of change in the banking landscape. Really, how many banks have gone through and come and gone and
Yep.
get swallowed up by larger regional or national level banks.
Mhm.
So I think you guys know at Royal Banks, there's something that is important, which is that community and being big enough, but also small enough to be nimble. How do you guys manage that kind of just changing landscape in this world?
Yeah, it's difficult to stay out in front of. You do your best at most times, but I concentrate on, and part of the reason why I got into banking was the relationship side
Sure.
of things. I mean, when I look back on it coming out of high school and college, I know I was like maybe a lot of folks, or maybe not. I was wondering, what am I going to do with my life? And I gravitated towards the business side of things, but as time went on, I started to realize that, hey, this is something I'm passionate about, is building relationships and putting my best foot forward and trying to do my best to bring those people back, being that trusted advisor.
Yeah.
And, that kind of started to repeat itself. And I was like, okay, this is something I could do for the rest of my life. And,
Yeah.
and banking was a good fit for that, because you're building, and I like the business side of the relationships. I started out on the consumer side, but business was where it was at.
Yeah.
and I'm still got a little bit of an analytical bone. I'm that guy that plugs things into Excel spreadsheets and, little nerdy like that.
I
but
like the Excel. I get it.
you
Can't do
can't
without
help
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
good
I'm
stuff.
sitting in the room with 2 CPAs. How could you not?
Well, I mean, Max and I were talking off air a little bit how we both use the left hands with the mouse so that we can use our number keypad
Yeah.
on the right hand.
Yeah,
That's pretty dorky.
that's pretty nerdy.
Pretty dorky. Being in the community can be a lot of things, right? The Chamber of Commerce is one of those things. There's 10 of them out here in the St. Charles County area.
Mhm.
Nick's with the Rotary. I've tried to sit on some boards.
Yeah.
Nonprofits. We have plenty of those out here. I think it's just being visible and telling the story of not just Royal Banks, but of Max,
Sure.
and developing those relationships. So it does take a lot of effort, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
think that, people in the community appreciate you for that. And more as we get older, I don't see near as many bankers doing what we like, how we've grown up learning.
Well,
how to
I
do
think
it.
it's kind of gone the wayside with
Yeah,
the
it's
big box
crazy.
kind of thing, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
Because then it's customers just come talk to us. Like,
Mhm.
no, you don't get out there.
Yeah.
No.
That's not how relationships are formed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like about, like he said, Beale Street. I live here in St. Charles County. I work here in St. Charles County.
Yeah.
You might even see me playing once in a while in St. Charles County.
Yeah.
That's Friday, right?
That's right.
But it working and living in the same community has got a lot of appeal to it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Right. Well, right down here. I'm in Winghaven area, right? So
Yeah.
there's the live, play, work all in the same community, right?
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
big deal.
Yep.
And I think that's something that we're hungry for as Americans in today's world.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
That feeling of continuity that, I'm working with a person that I, know from my community,
Yeah.
and I can trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not somebody out of Minneapolis or,
Right.
whatever the case may be,
Yep.
with the larger bank. So
Well, and I think that that's a differentiator too, is what I've noticed is you guys don't necessarily just get into, well, what kind of banking services do you need? Your questions are more along the lines, really like my questions. When I talk to people that are looking for my financial guidance, I tell people, look, I'm interviewing you, you're interviewing me. This is kind of, we're figuring things out here.
Yep.
But I need to know what makes you tick. You guys get to know each other, your customer's business. You
Yep.
ask a lot of business questions like, what are you trying to do? What's your growth look like? Right? What do you manufacture? Like, it's all different things.
And you bring up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, it depends on who's doing the banking too, right?
Yeah.
If it's Chris doing the banking, we got to talk to Chris. If it's Stacy, we got to talk to Stacy.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's easily forgotten. Who are the people being impacted by the transition you went through, or just the everyday,
Yep.
service that we provide? That's
Right.
where you have to understand the people side of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
No, and just to add on to that, I mean, I think when I first got into banking, a lot of commercial they would call themselves commercial lenders, and it was lending first, and I certainly like to do loans. I like to help businesses gain that working capital, access to working capital to use it to grow their business and, maintain their business. But I look at myself as a commercial banker first. So, just like with your relationship, there was no loans involved, but
Right.
you had a need for banking. And so I become that point person for whoever's in the bank.
Yeah.
Look, this is what Chris needs. And rather than you telling your story 15 different times to 15 different people,
Yeah.
you tell me, and that's all you need to do. And I'll take care of the rest of it.
Well, and I have a feeling that loans and everything comes with that in
It does.
time. And I also think from a banking perspective, if you know my balances already and you see them, doesn't that make me easier to
True.
offer
Very
from
true.
a loan perspective?
I'm looking to grow our team. If Chris, you're talking my language.
Knows what he's doing.
I think
No,
I
that's
got
true.
a lot going on
That's
here,
true.
guys.
Yeah. So, it's not all about the loan side.
Yeah.
Banking's more than just loans.
Yeah, no, it makes, and I think that's what's cool about really the financial services industry, right? We're all three of us in that space, and it starts with that trust and that relationship. There's a lot of people, there's commercials out there and what we both do. And they all talk about trust. I'm like, that's a foundation thing. Like, everyone, you better be trustworthy in what we do. That doesn't make you special. In fact, if you're not trustworthy in this, you
Yeah.
probably got fired.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't work. you know?
What's great about the trust piece is you develop these friendships with the business relationship,
Right.
and that trust goes even further. I got a client that I've taken from bank to bank, and unfortunately, sometimes that happens with bankers. We move around,
Yeah.
but each time it was I already knew that person. I already knew what they needed, and also I knew the business, so
Yeah.
I was able to almost in every case better their situation. Whether it was a loan with a rate or a deposit account with more features to it.
Yeah.
So that's why you develop those trusted relationships. They can go on for 20, 30 years.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, and working with businesses, you're not just, especially small businesses, you're not just working with that business.
Mm-mm.
It is so personal. Everything a small business owner does has an impact on their personal life. That's probably why they got into the business in the first place.
It's the heart of our country too.
You know,
I mean, 98% of business in the country is small nature.
Well, and as you guys said, once you build that trust, there are many occasions, and I know you've had this repeatedly, Max, where folks will come to you and say, "Hey, do you know any good wealth advisors, or do you know so and so?" And obviously, I've introduced you.
Do you know any?
I do,
Oh,
and I've introduced you before. So it's helpful. The banking side, and you see a lot of information there that's thrown at you, but I think you can use that as an opportunity to help that person out even more and say, hey, look, what other needs do you have besides banking? I know that sounds silly, but whether it's an HVAC contractor or wealth advisor, whatever. Hey, let me give you the names of some people that I know and trust, rather than you, in our old days, opening up the yellow pages and trying
learn the hard way.
Find yourself on your own.
And I think that's one of the other things that I like about some of the things that you guys do. So, Max, we met at one of the cool things that I think is really neat. I don't know any of the other banks that necessarily do this. It's, you guys call them the Royal Banks Mixers, and we had a lot of fun. We actually went to another client of yours, Fastlane Classic Cars, who was also on our radio show just recently.
Awesome.
Nice.
A lot of fun. I mean, how can you not love talking about cars?
Great.
Right? I mean, would you like to talk about financial stuff or cars?
Cars.
Yeah, all day long, right? So it was a lot of fun, but that mixer was great. And I think that's a great way of making sure you stay connected to that community.
Thank you. And I was glad that Nick had you and Stacy come. It's supposed to be fun. We're not doing lunch and learns. We're not trying to be Royal Banks University or whatever's out there. What we're trying to do is create relationships that last and have fun with it, provide some valuable, current, information as far as what's going on in the economy. I think we're going to have you. Can't wait to work with you on one.
Yeah, it sounds like we're hosting something in November, December time.
That's right.
So
Mixer 3.
Yeah, there you go.
And at the end of this, we may have to copyright it or something like that. But it's a lot of fun, and we have a mixologist that makes us, everybody some nice drinks. It's kind of featured around the topic of the day and the location. So I can't wait to see how that works out for.
Well, Wealth. So I'll little teaser. It'll be like whiskey and wealth themed.
Love it.
Yeah. So something along those lines.
Yeah, we're trying to differentiate, and I appreciate you bringing that up because we put a lot of hard work into that. We talked about it for about a year.
Yeah.
And people have families. There's a lot to do, and getting out from 3 to 5 is tough.
Yeah.
But it's been successful. We love doing it.
Well, when you can say it's for the betterment of your business. It makes it a little bit easy for your family to no, it's not. I'm not going out for drinks. I'm just it's a business meeting.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's not a high pressured sales environment. Really, we're there to just introduce you to other business owners, hopefully like minded people. But you learn a little something, you have a drink, and
well, it's about connections.
New people,
right?
Well, you had them over. I guess Sarah came over, and
it was great. We had a lot of fun. I mean, again, how can you talk? And great time talking about cars. So, wonderful time. Lot of fun people that are there. And when you are with a group of, business owners, ideas just kind of get generated anyway, right? But, we've got some things. We're going to start brainstorming topics for our conversation in November, December that we're going to be hosting, because at the end of the day, we do want to provide some value, right? You do want to provide some form of education, but don't call it a lunch and learn.
Nobody wants to learn at lunch.
No, let's do something more exciting, right? And talk about real
Whiskey
things
and wealth.
that matter. Whiskey and wealth, right? Make it a little bit more interesting. You can have some fun. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what I think is always just so unique. You can bring in some fun elements because really anything comes into financials at some point in time. It's always money flow, right? A lot of my conversations, that's kind of how it flows, right? But I don't start talking about just financial statements.
Right.
You guys don't either.
EBITDA, cash flow.
No.
And,
I mean, you have to have that stuff, but I'm sure that the folks, when you're offering, when you're trying to get the board to authorize funding, it's probably easier to have funding with a business model that you understand because you've listened to it.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get to know some facts about people. I
Exactly.
think that's what is a huge difference. Your clients are not just numbers on a file.
Yeah, that's one of the best things I can say about Royal Banks. When I came over to the bank in April of 24, I immediately felt wanted and a lot of respect given to me from the senior leadership. And it's a privately held community bank, and we want to stay that way. We just opened our new branch in U City, so that's a big celebration. That's where the bank was really formed, is in that U City area.
Cool.
And like I say, it's a really good place to work, and I think we feel trusted in our positions to go out and build these relationships.
That's what matters. That's how you get to help people.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. Well, cool, guys. I'm really looking forward to the next Royal Banks Mixer. We're hosting it. Further details will be coming. So we don't have all the information outlined here to just go, spoil it here on our show, but we'll get it out.
It'll be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. So if you are a business owner looking for a lunch and learn, don't come to this.
Don't come here.
We're going to have some fun though. Good topics and definitely a good time with some good people, and you'll make some good connections. So,
Absolutely.
all right. So how can people come and pay you a visit if they go, you know what? I just don't know if I'm getting the right relationship for my banking needs today.
Well, I might as well throw my cell phone number
Yeah,
out
there you go.
If you're looking for a personalized relationship, I really like to get to know the business.
Yeah.
And if the business owner doesn't have a problem with it, I'd much rather come out to their business. I can explain the value of what working with a community bank and working with someone that's seasoned and experienced can provide. But I'd also like to learn about how your business works, your history, your background. Those things are part of the reason why I'm still in commercial banking. So.
And if you have a need every day,
give me a call, 314-369-8937.
That is his cell phone. Look at that. And if you didn't get that, you can't replay it. Just give us a call. Royal Bank's website is going to be on here as well. But we are more than happy to make a connection to the bank that we are involved with as well.
Thank you,
Royal Banks of Missouri. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Chris.
it.
All right, once more, a very special thank you to my friends at Royal Banks of Missouri. I got to tell you, I switched to Royal Banks not too long ago, and I could not be happier with the level of service I have seen. And it affects my personal side of the house. It affects my business side of the house. And as a business owner, guess what? It is all 100% part of my equation. They are intertwined. And I could not be happier. And it goes beyond the financial things, the interest rates earned, the automated banking, the sweep accounts, all that good stuff, which is important. Don't get me wrong. But it's also about that community partnership. It's about that connection. It's about that relationship. It's about having a cell phone number that I can call and I can speak to somebody right then and there. Not be on hold. They'll walk down the hall and talk to somebody. That's important. It's important to me. It's how we built Serenity Wealth the same way. When you call Serenity Wealth, you don't get an answering service. It's not 1-800, who's the local intern that's going to pick up the phone or maybe call you and harass you all the time. No, we're trying to help. When you reach out to us, we are trying to help. It is important. We want to help the community we're a part of. Okay. You come to us because you have a challenge. You have a concern. There's a reason, right? We want to make sure we solve those issues. We want to make sure you feel comfortable. We want to make sure you have some peace of mind. We want to give you comfort so you can live today and enjoy the tomorrow you deserve. That's peace of mind. That's financial serenity. We all deserve it. And if you're not having these kind of conversations on a day-to-day basis with your financial partner in your life? Give us a call. Let's have a conversation. Let's see where it goes. SerenityWealthNow.com for more information. Give us a call, 636-333-9819. Check us out, Serenity Wealth Now social media outlets, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m., News Talk STL, and now streaming on Spotify as well.
Serenity Now! This is Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Request a free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, by visiting SerenityWealthNow.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors, LLC.